Hello there, fellow adventurers. Today we're taking a look at the games made by Lorenzo Boni, who according to his avatar looks like this. Though if that's true, then Ross Joseph Gardner from Blood Nova also looks like Anna Karina. He's currently collaborating with Dave Seaman on the sequel to Captain Disaster and the Two Worlds of Riscara.
Wish this now on Steam. The rubber chicken compels you.
There's 5 games in total on Lorenzo's itch page, which are all free unless you feel like making a contribution. I admit I downloaded them for free, but I promise I'll make up for it by buying the new Captain Disaster when it comes out. The rubber chicken compels me.
I think I broke the chicken.
Let's start with Bartolomeo. Missiled by circumstances, learns that appearances can be deceptive. Or just Bart for short. Bartolomeo is enamored by the poetry of Ponte di Segiro, who's based on Italian poet Dante Alighieri, most famous for the Divine Comedy, which is certainly divine but not so much of a comedy. An injured man with an arrow in his leg shows up at his house, and he's convinced it's the poet himself come out of exile, so we go about finding what we need to treat the wound. The doctor tells us we need an anesthetic, forceps, and wine, which shouldn't be too difficult to find after taking the time to stroke the doctor's vase to feel how smooth it is.
Ooh, that's smooth.
With help from the local pharmacist and dentist, we soon have everything we need. After healing him, however, it's not really a surprise to find that he's not who we thought he was. Oh well, I guess we'll just have to go back to reading poetry. Next, we have Elia, Ilaria, and the kids having a good time at the sea, or at least they try. What's with these long titles? Is this Dr. Strangelove or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb?
I am as sorry as you are, Dimitri. Don't say that you're more sorry than I am, because I'm capable of being just as sorry as you are. So we're both sorry, all right? All right.
This game was made in 2 weeks for the Adventure X Jam, but for some reason didn't make it into my top 10.
Mi scusi.
Before we can have a good time at the sea, our family demands a bunch of stuff, so we have to come up with some quick solutions using items we find around the house. For example, we can combine the pooper scooper from the cat's litter tray with a rubbish bin to make a bucket and spade. Our wife demands a special brand of sunscreen, just one cornetto. I mean, oh sole mio.
Just one cornetto, give it to me. Delicious ice cream, oh Italy.
There's plenty of things to examine, like in the kids' room, where we describe a Smurf as an old geezer with a Phrygian hat. This painting also looks familiar. I feel sorry for this guy running around collecting things while his family just sit around, when what he really wants to do is relax and read Playbob magazine. The other 3 games are set in my favorite place, space. Where Did the Humans Go was the winner of the $106 Adventure Game Challenge last year. So never mind the humans, what I want to know is where did the $106 go? Needless to say, this game is extremely well designed, though I don't really have much to say about it except that it reminds me of Beneath a Steel Sky. Maybe I'll review that one of these days, though my experience playing it wasn't exactly the greatest. Oh. The last couple games in Lorenzo's library star Clotilde Safridi, and a cast of other spacey characters. These are IMHO, the best of the bunch, and are brought to you in collaboration with Ructus Used Spaceships, despite the fact that the title says never buy a used spaceship. Somehow I don't think that bothers this putrid thief, stinking crook, fetid conman, or whatever you want to call him. Clotilde has no choice but to buy a used spaceship from him, and finds herself on a crash course with the sun unless she can find a way to change it. The ship's food dispenser is still working though, So if this is our last meal, we can feast on alien bread and Martian slug drippings.
Yummy!
There's some unforgettable lines like, "It's love that moves the sun and the other stars, not me." And that should make the balls sticky. The final puzzle involves pushing these colored buttons in the right sequence, and there's a colorblind mode for those who need it. Speaking of which, if there's any adventurers out there with color blindness, how does it affect your gaming experience? Of course, we don't burn up in the sun, otherwise there wouldn't be a second game. Clotilde is crash landed on an asteroid whose only inhabitant is an old hermit, who chats on and on and on.
And Ariston.
He's aspiring to become a saint through pain and suffering, so let's come up with an appropriate name for him. How about Saint Tropez, because of his sunny disposition?
Get it? Because St. Tropez is a place in the south of France. And it's sunny. Moving on.
To escape being trapped here with this older and stinkier version of the Little Prince, we first have to get the radio he's sitting on, then figure out how to operate it with the help of a recipe book that has instructions on how to make tasty food like Uranus worm sauce.
Yummy!
One of the things that sets these games above the rest is the level of detail in both the descriptions and dialogue. For example, when you look at the ship, it gives not 1, not 2, but no less than 7 responses. Then there's these fantastic comic book cutscenes that connect each stage of Clotilde's adventures and bind the galaxy together, just like the Force. Just when you think the game is over, there's a second part that brings the story to another level. I mean, just look at all the detail packed into this one screen. It's just bursting with alien life, and you can even smell the aroma of the local cuisine, spleen and cow stomach sandwiches.
Yeah, mate.
I got really stuck here as I thought I had to smuggle a sandwich into the office. Oh well, I guess we'll have to throw our sandwiches in the bin. Anyway, I look forward to the continuing adventures of Clotilde Safridi and the next chapter in Captain Disaster. Farewell, fellow adventurers, you've just got Lorenzo Boni.
Just one cornetto, give it to me. Delicious ice cream from Italy.